Hello friends and viewers, and welcome to my Kiya character guide. If you are just here for a quick reference, I've created a pocket guide for the beginning of the video. Kiya's trait is Blood for Blood. This trait grants her toughness, immunizing against injured and dying effects, and increases HP. When defeating targets, Kiya recovers HP and reduces the cooldown of all skills by 1 turn. When Kiya is injured or dying, her physical damage and piercing damage are increased by 20%. Before casting a skill or performing a basic attack, Kiya will inflict 2 stacks of infection. Following an active single-target physical attack, Kiya sacrifices 30% of her current HP to deal piercing damage equal to 30% of her physical attack plus 15% of the ultimate HP lost in the current turn. This can be triggered up to 4 times per round. As a stat, this means HP is a damage increasing stat after physical attack. Here's a table to help visualize Kiya's power growth at each star level. She will see some notable gains at star level 3 and star level 5. Kiya's initial skill is Spine-shattering Pierce. This is a 2 energy cost, 0 turn cooldown skill dealing 150% physical damage. When attacking enemies from behind, Spine-shattering Pierce blocks reaction skills on the target. This helps to prevent any preempt or strikebacks when casting this skill. At rank 1, your options are Shadowgate or Paralytic Touch. Shadowgate is an instant skill, teleporting Kiya behind her enemy and stealing 1 random attribute buff. Not only can you use this to set up back attacks, but this can be used for mobility to engage or disengage as needed on the battlefield. Paralytic Touch is a passive skill that inflicts infection after dealing damage. When actively using a class skill on a target with 5 or more stacks of infection, the target enemy will sleep for 1 turn. Long term, neither skill will be used in Kiya's regular skill loadout. Paralytic Touch may have more practical niche usage in scenarios you want to inflict infection or crowd control. It is also reasonable, however, to consider Shadowgate for the HP stat increase. My pick here at rank 1 is Paralytic Touch. At rank 3, I recommend Unforgettable Memories with a Castalia for Maid's Instinct. Unforgettable Memories is a decision skill with 2 different types of instant skills, Yearning and Resentment. Both skills share a 3-turn cooldown. With Yearning, Kiya selects an ally and grants Infused Yearning. After single target attacks by Kiya and the ally carrying this effect, both characters heal by 20% HP. After Kiya casts a skill, she and her target recover 30% HP, then dispels 2 debuffs and gains damage reduction 2. Kiya will also gain Unyielding. With Resentment, Kiya selects an enemy and inflicts the Scar of Resentment mark. After Kiya launches an active single target physical attack on the target, she will trigger Blood for Blood an additional time. When attacking, Kiya's attack increases by 10% of lost HP up to 30%, and after casting Resentment, Kiya sacrifices 35% of her HP and gains Unyielding. Maid's Instinct is a passive skill that increases Kiya's HP by 15%. At the start of her turn, or after performing Standby, she will clear all special tile effects within 2 tiles of her. After performing Standby, she will additionally recover 1 energy. Given how Kiya manipulates HP in her trait, this skill is a damage increase. Just be mindful in team compositions with allies that rely on special tile effects. At rank 5, I recommend Hatred. With Hatred, when Kiya is injured, she reduces damage taken by 35%. Because she has toughness, this means she numerically mitigates more damage while injured compared to when she is healthy. Additionally, after being attacked, Kiya will inflict Scar of Resentment on the attacker. Defense Range Attack decreases damage taken from range attacks. A fair amount of range damage comes from Watchers, which counter Kiya, but Hatred offers greater value in mitigation and damage. At rank 7, I recommend Crimson Covenant with a Castalia for Soul Calming Soup. Crimson Covenant is Kiya's signature ability, a single target attack costing 3 energy with a 3-turn cooldown. Upon cast, Kiya sacrifices 35% of her current HP, recovers 1 energy, resets her trait's triggering counts, temporarily leaves the battlefield, and inflicts Scar of Resentment and Pact of the Bloody Knight on the target. Pact of the Bloody Knight is a debuff on the enemy that decreases their speed by 150 and damage dealt by 20%. After Pact of the Bloody Knight ends, Kiya deals physical damage equal to 35% of her HP and physical attack, ignores 100% of the target's defense and gains lifesteal. She will also immediately trigger infection effects on the target and ignore preempt and dodge. Soul Calming Soup is an instant debuff skill. Kiya selects an enemy and recovers HP equal to 20% of the target's magical attack and inflicts 3 stacks of infection and reverses their healing received for 2 turns. Against targets already with infection, Kiya will also inflict attack 2 and sleep debuffs. Soul Calming Soup can be a quick form of crowd control, a self-heal, as well as deny healing on a target. At rank 9, your options are Feverish Attack or Fatal Attack. Which basic attack upgrade you select depends on your risk tolerance. Fatal Attack has a greater damage ceiling with its crit damage increase. However, given how Kiya's trait functions, her HP bar will regularly bounce back and forth. Feverish Attack's lifesteal will better support Kiya's self-sustain. My pick here is Feverish Attack. At rank 11, I recommend Table Knife. Table Knife is an instant physical damage skill with a 1-turn cooldown. This skill deals 40% damage and when attacking from behind, blocks passive skills on the target. Table Knife is another tool to trigger Kiya's trait. However, be mindful it can only be used up to 3 times per battle. Doomsday Dance is Kiya's only learnable AoE ability, dealing 75% physical damage to all enemies within 3 tiles of her, and inflicts 2 random level 2 attribute debuffs. This could see some niche usage to spread infection, especially when Kiya has cooldown reduction at higher star level, but for general play, Table Knife is more comfortable to use. This is my general build recommendation. In this build, use Unforgettable Memories on cooldown, preferring Resentment over Yearning. Use Spine-shattering Pierce or Crimson Covenant as Kiya's core energy spender. Spine-shattering Pierce may be more comfortable to use at star level 1 and 2, but Crimson Covenant will be easier to use with increasing star level. Your third skill slot is a flexible option between Mate's Instinct, Table Knife, or Soul Calming Soup. Use whichever is most beneficial for a battle, or default Mate's Instinct for general play. For weapon recommendations, Blade of Stratagem or Newborn Blade are the best options for the physical attack increases. Blade of Stratagem will increase active crit damage, while Newborn Blade additionally increases HP. Senator Swift Sword or Ever-Burning Blade are also potential options. Senator Swift Sword for the HP increase, or Ever-Burning Blade for Scorch and increased damage. Table Knife can apply these weapons' respective debuffs as well. For trinket recommendations, Crystal Burst Armor adds damage by increasing Kiya's HP. However, she will not be able to utilize the strike back damage increase. As it is intended in Kiya's playstyle for her HP to bounce back and forth, Cooling Powder is worth considering to protect her health pool and healing received. At higher star level, Flying Blade Armguard or Roaring Flint can be used to inflict infection, and Kiya's trait will increase these items' piercing damage as well. Otherwise, the attribute increases from Shield of Justice and Origin Hourglass are always reliable if you have these trinkets to spare. For Terra recommendations, because the Fool's Naivety increases Kiya's HP, this translates to increasing her piercing damage, in addition to increasing physical damage to any enemies she has more HP against. As Kiya's HP will regularly bounce back and forth, Gibbous Moon is another tool to add to her self-sustain. Think of this tarot as training wheels on learning how to play Kiya. For a general option, Course of Fortune is a versatile and hybrid choice for damage, healing, mitigation, and energy recovery. Notably, the AoE Shockwave from Course of Fortune will apply Paralytic Touch. On any maps with high target count, ranging from allies, enemies, summons, and NPCs, it is always reasonable to consider Temptation of the Devil. For engraving options, Kiya can use Double Pentacle well, not only for the increased HP ceiling, but also for the increased damage and damage mitigation when injured and dying. Otherwise, Sword and Wand is always a comfortable pick for the attack and defense increases after movement. To provide some composition and usage tips, similar to Guzman, Kiya has some of the highest base HP and physical attack currently in the game. She plays similar to the Berserker RPG trope, where she deals more damage the less HP she has. However, regardless of having toughness in her trait, keep in mind she is still vulnerable to Watchers. Kiya has a base speed of 187, putting her slightly ahead of the average Seeker speed. With her high HP and self-sustain, she can be a formidable frontliner, though maybe not to the extent she would replace any defenders you have. Lastly, Kiya is part of the Night Crimson, Builder, and Alacrity categories. Consider teaming her with Layla, Lilywell, Luffy, and Urkol for their leaders' auras. For a quick overview of external category buffs, Layla's Night Crimson aura grants a 12% damage increase to Night Crimson allies, increasing Kiya's physical damage. Lily Will's Resonance of Blood increases Vilder allies' movement by 1 tile. Increased movement is always helpful for both offensive and defensive gameplay. Lutfi's Moment of Crisis attack increase is a strong aura to boost Kiya's physical and piercing damage. Cole's Perfect Assassin increases crit and crit damage by 15%, increasing Kiya's physical damage, but less so her piercing damage. That concludes this character guide. If you have any feedback to share with me, please leave a comment below. I'm open to listening and being wrong. I'm another player improving and learning more about Sword of Convallaria just like you are. Remember, if you find conflicting information to other guides or content creators, then that means there are multiple ways to build a character and still achieve success. Finally, my social media contacts are displayed here to connect with me as well. Last but not least, I want to credit and shout out these resources for helping me put together this character guide. Voyage Memento for character build samples and reference links, the No Potion fan site for skill images and skill descriptions, and the Billy Game site for character art assets. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.